the one piece of career advice you wish you had given someone when you were starting out?
Well, I think one of the key things for me is that, and I'll probably suggest two. Firstly, if in doubt, give it a try. I think we sometimes enter into activities or tasks or new roles or look at something and think we can't possibly do that, and we hold ourselves back. So I think that the advice I would have given my younger self would be to assume you can do it, you just don't know how to do it right now, and give it a go. And coupled with that, I think nobody else in the room can tell you're nervous. I think that's a really key piece of advice. Nobody knows that you might be shaking inside or really nervous about that new thing you're about to do. And therefore, don't assume anybody can see that, because they really can't.
Can you share a pivotal moment in your career journey that has had a significant impact on yourself?
I've had quite a few, and I really struggled to try and pick which one to share today.
Okay.
I think there's one that was really, really simple, actually, that really did change my perspective. And I think sometimes pivotal moments are about changing a perspective. And I had reached quite a senior role. It was my first board level role. And I'd taken over 250 individuals in an IT department. And I needed to start to do regular team briefs, standing up in front of 250 people well before pandemic and everybody went home. So this is in person. And sharing an update to the department. And I'd never spoken to that size of group. And I'd certainly never stood as the leader of that group and set a vision or started to set something. And one of my opening statements was, I talked about, I felt lucky to be in the role. And I talked quite a bit about, I'm really lucky and I feel lucky to be here. And, I'm looking forward to working with you all. I did all the usual platitudes. At the end of that session, which went okay, but at the end of that session, one of the ladies in the team, lovely lady from down south, in London, came up to me and she said, "Can I have a word?" She's quite junior. Yeah, thinking she's going to give me some feedback. And she did. And she said, "You really need not need to stand there and say, 'I feel lucky.'
Wow.
You earned this. Nobody would have put you in that role if you couldn't do this. So why are you saying that you're lucky and that there's some magic fairy dust that happened? You earned it. Own it."
Wow.
And that really was my great feedback.
Well, I was going to say, I can imagine someone from maybe a junior level giving you that was really lovely to hear.
Amazing to hear.
Yeah.
But also, I think it changed a bit of perspective for me. And it that's quite late in my career. I've been in technology for 20 years at that point already. But I don't think I've thought about it in the sense of, yes, I have actually. We get to our roles, we get to our positions because we have put hard work in, because we've shone somewhere or we've demonstrated capability and somebody has recognised that and done something about it. But we've driven that. Doesn't matter what role you're in, doesn't matter what organisation. We individually play a part at moving our own careers forward. And it really has changed my perspective about how you might present yourself and how you think about going for roles and also how you think about, well, I don't know how to do this, but that's okay. I'm here because I've got some skill and I've got some capability and you need to remind yourself occasionally that actually, yes, I'm good at this stuff.
So the mindset change, isn't it? I'm sure with that mindset change, you've probably now seen a positive impact in your working self.
Yeah. And I think it's also about you're representing a whole cohort of other colleagues who are also, as you become more senior, people are looking to you for, well, what does it look like? You're inadvertently a role model whether you like it or not. I think also projecting something that's quite positive, that you're owning the space that you're in, I think is quite empowering for others, and we forget that sometimes.
How do you approach challenges and setbacks in your professional life? And what's your go-to strategy for overcoming them? Because in the NHS, it's a difficult landscape, it's a difficult environment to work with. So it's really interesting for other people to find out, possibly from your senior position, how you deal with them.
Well, I'm quite an action-oriented person. I think I will have moments of procrastination where I think, oh, no, I don't know. What do you do with this? I think one of the ways that I overcome that is what's the action that I can take? What's the doing I can do that starts momentum? It's almost akin to sport, isn't it? I was talking the other day, nobody sets out to run a marathon. See if you can shuffle to the end of the road, and then if you manage to get to there without keeling over, you see if you can shuffle a bit further. But once you've started on that shuffling and actually started to do something, it doesn't feel quite as insurmountable. So how I'd overcome challenge really is generally, what's the action I can take that puts me back in control? What's the learning I can take from what's happening around me? Who can I go and ask for some feedback? Who's doing it well? Where can I learn from? What can I pinch with pride? That's often my go-to. But where somebody else done this really well that I can go and have a look and go, oh yeah, I'll just pinch that and carry on. And for me, I think one of the challenges, how I overcome them properly is, it is what it is. How do I move on and create that momentum, because I'll get through it.
One thing you mentioned, Lorna, is the word feedback a lot. And I think in the NHS, I think sometimes people struggle with feedback. And obviously you've come from a non-NHS background to an NHS career and role now. I feel you see feedback as a gift, if I'm correct in thinking.
Feedback is definitely a gift. I don't think it's an easy thing to do. I don't think it's an easy thing to receive or to give. I am definitely not the best person at all at either giving or receiving, but I think it's important to try. You can learn a lot by asking the right questions. I also think that it's important to try and give other colleagues feedback and be constructive in that feedback. And we're going through that cultural journey at the moment within the Northern Care Alliance. You know, we've opened up a feedback process within the digital team. We're going through some real significant change as the department in terms of structures and aligning our services. And we've opened up a really clear channel of feedback, and it's been bumpy. You know, some of that feedback is painful. We've got, some unhappy colleagues. We've got other colleagues that want to know what's happening, and, change is hard. But I do keep saying feedback is fundamentally a gift. Whether we like what we hear when we're getting it, that it's there to act on, and we have a choice then about what we do with it and what we take from it.